Hi, welcome to Forgotten Legends of Sound. Today we are doing my pick today. This is Sigh, Hangman's Hymn, musically execution or something,
Right.
exequian or whatever. Yeah, awesome album. This was the first album that me and Kevin had heard back in 2007 when it came out. And yeah, it just kind of like blew me away. And just recently, like a day or two ago, I found out that they're re-recording this album. So it's kind of cool that we're doing this one today. So kind of fitting, I guess, for news today. And anyways, yeah, I love Hangman's Hymn. Sigh's an amazing band. It's cool to promote it. I feel like this album sometimes. I think sometimes the Sigh fan base gravitates towards their way more experimental stuff, and some of that is really awesome too. But this just kind of checks all the boxes for me as far as like something that's really engaging, catchy, intense, fun, just awesome all the way around. Yeah, do you have anything you want to share about this before we jump into
I
it?
mean, yeah, we are gonna do like kind of like an analysis going through the whole album and everything, and we've been talking about doing this album for a while. Like I was gonna pick it one day, or you were gonna pick it one day, So it just happens that you wanted to pick this one, and it takes time to get through all these albums and these videos and everything, because we're we live in different places and stuff, so getting together, it's sometimes it can be hard to find the time. But thanks viewers for watching these and everything, all five of you out there or whoever, but like I'm glad we're doing this because this is probably like one of my favorite like black metal-y type of albums or whatever, but it's also like avant-garde and different enough to be away from all that 90s black metal stuff, because I'm not a big black metal like fan or whatever. The sound and everything, it's usually not really my cup of tea, but this album does kind of just
work for you.
Yeah, and it really did blow up, I guess, both of us away back in 2007.
Yeah.
I will say, I don't know if you want to tell the story or whatever, but like that whole Century Media story when they released their 2003 album, and then like when they released the 2005 album, and they were like so unhappy, and then this album was like completely just over the top and whatever with the end records and stuff. But I don't know if
I don't
you
know.
remember
I don't remember all the
story.
details. I think I had read somewhere that Imaginary Songscape was like interesting, but then like Century Media didn't like Gallows Gallery.
Yeah, that was the one.
So then they like got dropped from Century Media or something. I thought it was something like that.
Yeah.
And then Gallows Gallery is definitely a very weird album, But then they come back with like more of their black metal kind of stuff.
Yeah, because I think they wanted something more like hard hitting and whatever. But I don't know. Sigh just seems like the kind of band that they're gonna do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
And they don't care what the labels or whatever want.
Yeah, they're definitely just one of those bands that's just kind of endlessly creative. Like anytime they make something, it's like, oh, this is at least going to be interesting. They're not a band that gets stuck in a rut. And I don't know. I listened to one song from the re-recorded version, and kind of something I kind of wanted to bring up for just the listener or whatever, or the viewer. Sometimes there's this sort of conception in music where everything has to be like produced like super clear and nice production and everything. And I know that the Mirai guy, the singer, keyboardist dude, the mastermind pretty much of Sigh, I know he has like kind of like badmouthed some of the earlier records because of like the way they sound, the production or the recording. I think he'd said something like that about Graveword too and stuff. Or even Gallows Gallery had like a reissue like pretty quickly after or something. So it seems like Sigh is one of those bands that's like had a lot of like, I guess maybe it seems like the production is one of the things that they get like, I don't know, the most flack for as far as, as far as some of their work. But I don't know. It's like I listened to the new song. It's Death with Dishonor, and like some of the guitar parts and stuff were cool, but for me, it's just kind of like I like the production on this. I think it sounds really awesome. I like how it sounds more cavernous, more boomy, and it may sound more messy in the guitar and drumming kind of aspect of it, But I don't know. I do want to listen to the new one because I think it would be cool to just kind of hear it how they would sound nowadays, especially because they have a new guitarist and new people recording the newer version of this one, so it'd be cool to kind of compare. But I think that there's a little bit of a temptation to like my concern is that everything's going to be homogenized, everything's going to sound the same. If everybody's like, no, you have to have this production in order to be good production, you know, then there's nothing's going to sound unique anymore. It's like, I'd rather have the bad production instead of listening to 100 albums that all have the same perfect, pristine production, you know? Anyways, just something that I was thinking about or whatever. I don't know if you have any thoughts about that.
Well, it reminds me of like when the Offspring like did that song like Dirty Magic or whatever, and then they did the re-recording of it. And I can't remember where I read this, but I think like Dexter Holland was like, yeah, the re-recording is great and stuff, and this is how we wanted it to sound. But me, I'm like, yeah, but I'd rather listen to Ignition and listen to that version because that's the version that I'm most accustomed to and everything. Maybe there will be people that will like the new re-recording of the Sigh albums like more and everything. But when you've already been listening to this album for almost 20 years, you know, I mean, in 2 more years, it'll be like 20 years. So you're already kind of accustomed to this album. And so, I didn't think that it needed a re-recording, you know. But I mean, I have heard that with Grave Word and stuff. I have heard like people online and stuff, but I was like, it sounds pretty good.
For me, I'm kind of like, if the music sounds awesome, like sometimes whatever production choices you make gives it a unique kind of identity, and I kind of like that, and I like hearing mistakes in music too. You know?
Blemishes.
There is this like idea that, oh, you know, we can't leave in mistakes, or some artists will be like, oh, I cringe when I hear that because they know that this wasn't supposed to sound like this or something like that, you know. But at the same time, I don't know, I feel like there is a little bit of magic to some of those blemishes and stuff. Anyways, just kind of a thought that I had.
And honestly, I kind of agree with you. Like, I like just things, just, I don't know. I want music to be judged by the music, not by the engineers and the production and the what, you know. I don't want music to be defined by how many sales did it make. Like to me, it's like good music should be judged on what notes are being hit and what notes are being played and everything. And so, there could be something where it's like the production is garbage, but when you listen to the players and stuff, you're like, oh man, this is pretty good. You know? So anyways.
And it's kind of like, I think some of those things can affect a little bit, but I just don't want those things to be the primary, you know, concern or whatever. Like, I agree with you. I think more than 90% of it should be about just the music actually made. And, you know, I don't know.
Like, don't get me wrong. Sorry. I know we've been going on a rant, but like, okay, so the production does bother me a lot on, I think it was like the OU 182 album or whatever, the Van Halen album.
The click,
the keyboard click effect thing just bothers the crap out of me. And so I guess you could just say like, oh well, Kevin,
you have a threshold.
Like, there is certain things that can bother me with production, but this doesn't bother me. You know,
this doesn't bother me either. I think it sounds awesome. But you know, it's cool that they're re-recording it, and it would be interesting to hear how it all sounds in a different kind of sound and whatnot. So. Anyways, this album, one thing about this album before we jump in is, I guess this album is sort of a concept album of sorts about this dude. I think he's like sells a soul or something, and then he's like going to hell and he sees like the end of the world and all this stuff. So it's kind of like well, I don't know.
It's like don't they call it like a dirge or something like it? It's like a music played for a funeral. And this album is kind of like music played for this person's death or something like that. You know, because I thought I was reading up somewhere that's the whole kind of premise of like, you know, having it be this sort of, you know, funeral type whatever thing, you know, and
it could be,
but
like maybe this is similar to 8 Deadly Sins in a way, where it's like
right, but it's definitely super focused on like, you know, like his soul and what's going on and, you know, being torn apart or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, but it definitely, buy the album, you know, support the artist and everything, you know? But
I guess I don't have much to say, but this first song is a freaking banger. So, you ready, bro?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alrighty. Here's Hangman's Hymn from Sigh, the first track, Introitus Kyrie. I know. I am freaking ready.
Yeah. Da-na-na-na-na.
I know.
What do you mean? Forget, please tell me.
Yeah, I like it too.
I wonder what this song will sound like. Yeah, it might sound pretty nice.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know. It already sounds good.
Yeah.
I know. I love all the spookiness and everything.
Yeah.
Atmospheric. Cool. We're gonna get some high ratings for this album for sure.
For sure. Yeah. Definitely feels very funeral procession vibes.
Can you open up just a like dirge definition?
Let's see. Dirge is a song or hymn of mourning, especially for funeral or ornaments. Yeah, I guess it is a dirge.
All right, bro, you get to go first.
What can I say? It's a 10, man. It's a 10. I love that it wastes no time jumping in. It's just right away, like, it goes right into it. It's sick. It makes you excited. It makes you pumped up and everything, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, and I love that sort of like, you know, the little bit of clean kind of like, I don't know how you'd even describe that. It's almost like a howling kind of vibe, or I don't know. It's some kind of like,
It's very triumphant, like very triumphant sounding. But
very triumphant, but it sounds almost, the song sounds very like manic and like unhinged, and it's just kind of like, I really love that aspect of it, and I love the orchestration parts, and the chorus is sick. Yeah, it's a 10. Like, yeah.
I it's been a long time since I've gone through the lyrics, so it was cool to go because we're going through each song with lyrics and stuff. And the lyrics are freaking great, and it's a 10 for me as well, because dude, it's in your face, it's fast, it's like they don't waste a whole lot of time. They just, and that's one thing I like about this album is it's very concise. There's like hardly any filler at all, you know. And guitar solo is great, and I like all of the horns and all the special like effects and everything, Heck, the outro part
Yeah,
and everything, the
little
humming
spookiness.
and man, I like all of. I like this because to me this is my favorite Psy album. You know, and it's not even close. You know, this is like my favorite. But anyways, yeah, 10. So
yeah. You ready for Inked in Blood?
yeah, let's do it.
See if this guy can get himself in more trouble.
Yeah, I'm a little bit biased because this is like my first, introduction to the band. But I mean, it's a good album.
Yeah, it really is. Even if it wasn't, I still think this would be one of my favorites, if not my favorite. Even if I got in, it's just.
Did I get Imaginary Sonicscape? Was that 2001?
2001.
2001. Yeah, I think earlier I said 2003.
Yeah, that's okay.
But what can
I
you
didn't
do?
want to be a prick. So
I was like, that sounds wrong. It sounds like 2001, 2005,
then 05,
then 07.
07.
Yeah, okay. And then 2010. For
Scenes
the
from
scenes.
Hell.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And Insomnophobia, 2012.
Insomnophobia was pretty cool. But I think that
I like
that
Scenes
one.
from Hell a lot too.
I haven't gone through that one. Like I've only gone through it like once or twice. Yeah. But Insomnophobia, I feel like gets a little bit of a bad rap. Is that?
I think Insomnophobia people like. People generally like that one's the most similar to like Imaginary Sonicscape, like because it's so experimental, and I think people generally like that kind of side the most. Now, at least from what I've read online, or
during this time, they don't have the chick with the saxophone, right?
No, she started on the next album.
Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
All the saxophone and all that. Yeah, and the deep guttural vocals she does.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah,
just trying to keep this all straight,
Yeah. I'm kind of like a lot of people really love the Shiki album. Maybe I shouldn't. But like that one didn't really do a whole lot for me.
Is that the newest
one? That's like
one?
the 2022 one.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And that one didn't do as much for me. Like it's not like I think that Psy has fell off at all, but but a lot of people really love that album, and I'm kind of like, to me, I'm like, more like the 2000s albums or like the 2010 albums. I like more. I don't know, but I need to listen to it more too, though. So I don't know.
Yeah.
You ready for Inked in Blood?
Yeah, let's do it.
This was the first song we ever heard. That's so freaking sick.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that one a 10, dude. It's a stellar like second track. You know, I love like there's certain albums and stuff that like I love like a track 1 and 2 like I think of like Testament's like New Order, you know, going eerie inhabitants into
New
you know,
Order.
you know, it just sometimes it's nice having that second track
1-2
punch. And same thing with like Blind Guardians, like Somewhere Far Beyond.
Yeah,
you know, that 1-2 punch, you know, it's just so great.
So
and this album does the same thing where it's just a 1-2 punch. The second song is just as good as the first song in terms of like just not letting go and just I think I like track 1 a little bit more, you know, but I feel like this is just an awesome like follow up. So I have no complaints with this song.
I have no complaints either, dude. It's a 10. First song I ever heard. I remember being like the laughing part caught me off guard. I was like,
right.
But it also is just like so cool. Like I love that they're just like, oh, let's just make this like crazy, manic and wild, you know. And I thought the lyrics were really cool too. Like this bro is like selling his soul, and it sounds like it's gonna suck for him, you know.
How did you come across Sigh? Because I think you're the one who found him.
I was checking on YouTube, and around 2006 to 07, I was checking into a ton of avant-garde crap, you know.
Okay. Part of
I had heard them. Yeah, I'd heard
the
them.
Sleepy Time Gorilla, the Unexpect, and all that era.
Yeah, because that Sleepy Time album came out in 07 too, and I remember kind of picking up that one. I think along this one around the same time frame.
Okay.
And this song just, I was like, dude, this is sick. Like his clean vocals mixed with his like more black metal shrieks or whatever is just so perfect. Like if it was only one or the other, I feel like it's a little lacking, but combined together, it just sounds so awesome.
Because I do like, I was kind of curious thinking about it now. I was like, yeah, was there like trying to just get more into the end records and stuff? Because like there were other albums that we got from that time frame.
Too.
Yeah, that was also end. Yeah. So it seemed like the end records was just doing some stuff differently around that time frame.
Even getting stuff like wins and stuff. Like it was, you know, there's just a lot of just random stuff. Like I think Arcturus, Shamir's, this album too. I think those really made me like, wow, avant-garde metal bands have a ton to offer and they're really cool. And then I kind of just went off the deep end with them.
Maybe that's why like you and I
was listening to KO Dot at that time too.
Yeah,
like, I was like listening to
Modeling on the Well.
Modeling on the Well, yeah.
But like at that time too, maybe that's why we associate avant-garde with this like band in certain ways, because I don't know if other people mention it as much. Maybe like you look on Rate Your Music more than I do or something, but do people talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
They do.
All right. Yeah, but
Sigh's pretty freaking unique. Like no one really sounds like them. This is like their most accessible album, I'd say, as far as
straightforward.
Like, yeah, I mean, nothing will be accessible if someone doesn't like black metal or extreme metal any degree. But when you're comparing this to freaking, you know, all the psychedelic black metal or psychedelic, like all the weird stuff, and then it's like, this is more straightforward and it's way more like almost traditional metal while still being like still a ton to offer and still something new and different though.
Because like I mean I've heard like I've probably gone through maybe 5 or 6 different Sigh albums and stuff. This one to me seems the most like symphonic. Yeah. And I think that's one reason why it also caters to me and stuff.
Yeah.
Like some of the psychedelic keyboard stuff is, you know, it's kind of cool and stuff, but it's just not as like, I like the backing end of this album and stuff where it's like, no. You know, I like, because it's very, it's very orchestral. You know what I mean? And so maybe that's why I like this. Like I've played in orchestras and stuff in the past and stuff. And so I like all the backing, all the lower end type stuff going on. And you know,
I'd agree. I think it might be their most orchestral too. Like some of their other albums definitely have a ton of orchestral elements too. But I feel like this one relies on it so much more. And maybe because the other albums will take all these other random detours that it's kind of like
the Slaughter
waters that
Slaughter down what is that
Slaughter Garden Suite.
Yeah, like that one has that orchestral section in that song if I remember right.
It's been a while.
It's
been a while. I remember that was a long.
It's been a long time. But I'll have to go through that album again sometime. But sometime. Anyways,
I need to go through all these albums again.
Yeah, but that's our channel, man. We're all over the place, just having a good time.
Having a good time. So you ready for me, Devil?
Yeah, let's do it.
This one's dope too. Honestly, this album is freaking just solid.
I'm
All right, man.
Bro's going freaking wild.
Dude, that whole line there was like,
it was like hard to. I know, it was hard to follow. That one, man, it's. I think I'm gonna give it 9.5. I feel like it's a tiny step down from the first two, but I still love the crap out of it. Like it's still an awesome song. It's a really catchy chorus, you know. Yeah. But I think it doesn't get me as like pumped and like all in like the first two tracks do. But still, awesome song though. What do you think?
Man. I'm thinking either a 10 or a 9.5 because I'm like thinking like I don't think there's anything wrong with this song. I do think it's the most catchy. I think it's probably more catchier than the first two, you know. It is kind of cool. Get stuck in your head. Yeah. It is kind of cool that this song was on like that Global Metal DVD.
Oh, was it?
When they go to Japan and you know, Sam Dunn talks to them or whatever, and
that's pretty
the guy was all like saying like, yeah, I'm not into all that, what's it, like visual K stuff or whatever, all that Japanese, and he's like, because metal's supposed to be cool, you know, and you know, and so they're like playing this song and stuff, and I'm gonna give it a 10, dude. I don't think there's anything wrong with this song, but it is one of those songs that sometimes it is more of a 9.5 for me, you know. But objectively, I don't think there's anything wrong with this song at all. You know, I think it's a pretty solid, like, you know, 1, 2, 3 punch kind of thing. You know, like it's pretty good. Yeah. So
keeps the momentum going.
I think so,
because you and I are speed freaks, like we love when music is just fast and intense, like all the time. Like I could see other people, like if a whole album is like that, they could feel fatigued. But you and I are more like, dude, that's our freaking jams. Yeah. You ready for Dies Irae, the Master Malice?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
This one's like your favorite too, right?
This is probably my second favorite on the album.
Second favorite.
I think track 1 is still my favorite. Everybody uses that, you know. I don't know who originally did that. Mozart, man. Yeah, some kind of like. This is the second. We're in the second chapter. Some of that chorus was a little hard to follow.
I guess we were multiple.
It's such a weird selection of words put together. It's like tongue twister a little bit, you know? That's why he said something else.
That brimstone every day, you know?
I wish they separated out instead of having to put like walls.
And they don't even have spaces here either. It's like you said that so fast. Something down here on that's like the melodies and tracks. Yeah, I like all the them going back to different ones. Bro, straight up laughing.
His evil maniacal laugh. It's so beautiful sounding too, you know?
Sounds awesome.
I like that it sounds like it's in like a church or something, from
Monastery
or something.
yeah.
Monastery. Yeah, that's cool. At night while it's raining, basically. Yeah.
Straight up.
It sounds so
like,
European and stuff to me, you know,
Yeah.
like it's
like very
It-
gothic-y.
Yeah,
and
very,
like,
yeah. I'm gonna give that a 10, man. This
Freaking-
is probably my second favorite on the album. You know, I think track 1 I like the most, and then this one.
Yeah.
I like this one because it's like while it's sounding all stormy and everything, you hear the piano faintly going like. Dun, 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 dun. And like right before it goes into the, it's just like, and then it just freaking unleashes and everything. And,
Yeah.
and it's kind of a bouncy song too.
Yeah.
Like it's a little bit slower,
Yeah.
you know,
Especially compared to the first three.
right. But I like the drummer in this song. You know, I like those like ride cymbal hits and everything. You know, you know, it's a cool song. Lyrics are great. You know, more hellish torment.
Yeah.
And, you know, burning in hell and whatever. You know, but
Yeah,
it's a cool song. So I gave it a 10. But what do you think, bro?
Yeah, I love the clean vocals in this album. You know, like man, they just add this new dimension, and it adds like this maniacal insanity vibe to it all, or whatever. And like it's very hellish, it's very like gloomy. It's just, but it's also very triumphant sounding and epic and stuff at the same time. Like, yeah, it's pretty cool. And just all the classical vibes or whatever, like in this whole song is just really dope.
And the other thing too is it's the backing vocal stuff always sounds like semi goofy, you know, because you know when he's just like, you know, left to burn in hell, it's like
Yeah.
You know, it sounds like kind of goofy, you know.
Yeah, but in the context
like,
of this, it sounds freaking sick.
So it's very enjoyable. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's just I like all the vocal parts and yeah, they do a great job with backing vocals and with the clean vocals and there's a lot of just you know, chants and like hums and just like all of it's freaking great.
It's all pretty much a dirge.
Yeah, man. Musical dirge, man.
Musical dirge, yo.
Yeah.
Musical dirge. Back to Testament again.
Yeah, for reals.
You ready for Memories as a Sinner?
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Here we go. Dude, it goes so freaking fast. It does, yeah. Like he'd be mumbling some of those words. He's not saying all that freaking, you know what I mean? No. Totally enunciated. Yeah. Stop it.
Yeah. We want the end.
This one, I feel like it's a little bit of a step down from the first four, but I still think it's awesome. Like, I'm giving it 8.5. The chorus doesn't stand out as much, but I still like it. I still like like it's still cool and all, but I feel like it just doesn't have as much. Like, I love it when I go through the album, but I never go out of my way to listen to this song on its own. You know.
That's kind of how I am. Like, I feel like you and I are on similar wavelengths with this album. I give it an 8.5 as well, because this is one song that I do feel like I don't know how to make it better. It's one that, like, as it's gone, I'm like, oh yeah, this one, you know. So it doesn't have as much like staying power with me, you know. Maybe some of like the parts and everything just don't differentiate enough, you know.
Yeah.
Every time
it's
I
also
like,
not as intense as maybe the earlier ones.
yeah,
too.
and every time I hear, you know, like the song titled "Memories as a Sinner," I'm just kind of like, oh, is that the one that's like, you know, die as a sinner, die as a saint, you know? And I'm like, oh no, like I just don't really remember this song as much, you know,
Until
so
it's like
just,
going there, like, oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, in Death with Dishonor and in Devil's Arms and stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, I know those ones.
Yeah.
Like it just, this one kind of like gets a little bit forgotten, I guess, you know. But real quick too, sorry to go back to track 4, but like I love the outro melody with track 4 because that's also the same melody that they do in track 10. But there's a lot of moments in this album where they'll do a little part that's exactly from another song and whatever. And that's one thing I do like about this album. And
conceptually it's freaking awesome.
Exactly, you know. And so when I was getting to know this album, finding all those little parts and everything, be like, oh yeah, you know, and whatever, like it was enjoyable. And so, you know, that's one thing that's pretty cool with this album. But anyways,
I agree.
Yeah,
sorry.
Let's press on, man.
Ready with Death with Dishonor?
Yeah.
We all know what that one is.
I'm going to give it a 9.5. Oh my! I do think that this one is a step down from like the first 4, but it's close. It's close for me. I don't think it's quite a 10 for me. And part of that also might be just because of where it's placed on the album and everything. It's like I love the whole, you know. But I guess maybe I just there's parts in this that aren't like super unique for me compared to just, I don't know. Again, it might just be because I'm placing it, you know, where the
Because, like,
where the
other
song is
songs
placed.
already kinda did
Yeah,
this
already
vibe.
did this and already happened, and so yeah. But
Well, that's too bad.
I just like I don't find anything wrong with this song. It's just that I don't know, this song just for whatever reason it doesn't connect with me emotionally the way that some of the first 4 does. You
Come
know?
on,
But
I don't believe in glory after death. I need it now. I want it now. Don't need torture after death. No,
yeah. What? So why do
So
you give it?
I give it a 10 because it's freaking sick, and I love just the orchestral melodies throughout it all. This bridge or whatever, the way he just like goes into it. You will never fail to state your greed. You're fate to bleed with the demon sea. So listen to us now. You know what fear is. Obey. Like that is
pretty, okay.
so fudging
All right,
like.
fine. I'll give it a 10. I'll give it a 10.
Yeah. You know, it's like I feel like a lot of this album almost sounds like this madman. But also a lot of the voices almost seem like demons and stuff telling them
right,
like,
right.
you know, sell your soul now, you know, come on, like the fire is feeling pretty good or whatever, you know, like a lot of it seems like this madman who's almost having this like crazy manic discussions with demons and stuff or something.
Right.
And they do that so well. Like it just really, man, it's just, this album's so sick.
Yeah. Like I'm glad you picked it because it's a sick album and you know, yeah, I agree with you. Probably the bridge part is my favorite part. The way it builds up and ramps up.
Yeah.
You know, it is pretty
and
good.
that is just a cool melody. And it's 3 minutes, so it's like there's like no fat on it, you know, it just sick.
Yeah.
I gave it a 10. I don't know.
This melody for this song though reminds me of like
this one too.
It reminds me a bit of that, like I think there's like that Halloween song where it's like I don't know where hell or paradise. No, 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 or heaven tells no lies. You roll the dice. Na, 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 na.
But is that on Gambling?
Gambling. Yeah. It's one of the later tracks.
Yeah.
Like
it's like the last song or something.
Yeah, it's
before
like
all the
11 or
bonus
12
crap.
or whatever.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this
I think
song,
it is called Heaven Tells No Lies.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. But I feel like this song kind of reminds me of that melody a little bit. When it's like
too.
na, 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 when it's like now I'm mixing up both songs. But it's like na 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 na, where it's this one is more like a na 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 na. You know, the other one's like na 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 na. Na, 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 you know, but that first bit na, na,
Sounds like it.
na, 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 na.
I just like that whole
Yeah. On the next one.
Yeah, the next one. Like I just
yeah.
I don't know. I love that. Like, it's so freaking sick.
Well, then let's do it. Let's do it. Sorry, I kind of derailed.
Oh no, it's okay. It's totally cool with me. Yeah, Halloween's sick too. Here is In Devil's Arms. Yeah, he does. Like Nirvana, Nevermind. Yeah,
wander forever. You'll be wandering
forever. Wandering souls. Yeah, what do you think of that one? I actually...
this is you.
Oh, it is
your
my turn,
thoughts.
yeah. I actually... Normally I give that one a 10, but this time I give it kind of a 9. Maybe I was a bit distracted because the lyrics were kind of messed up, distracted kind of following it and stuff. But I do love the chorus because I like... Well, it's maybe after the chorus. I like that... Because there's something about it that almost seems like a suffering soul kind of moaning or something.
Talking about that regret,
like
man.
that regret, man. That gosh dang regret. I just think it's really cool. I give it a 9 because I don't think it's. I think I like it better than track 5, but not as much as like the other ones so far. What do you think?
I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I think I liked it similar to track 5. I kind of feel a bit like the talking part and everything lasts maybe a little too long and everything.
Yeah.
It's just going through these lyrics really quick and everything, but it's not like the lyrics don't differentiate too much. I wish there was something in the lyrics that maybe just, I don't know,
gave it something more special.
Yeah, something a little more special or something. It's not like I hate them or anything. I just wish that there was something a little bit more unique or something. And just saying, the devil this, devil's arm, devil, like it's a bit like repetitive and everything. And this song is slower as well. So I don't feel like this song doesn't get me like, oh yeah, so it's still a great song, but honestly, maybe I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8. I think maybe I do like track 5 a little more than this one.
Yeah.
It just, I think that sounds more accurate for me.
Yeah.
But, not much more to add though. I mean, it's a great song. It's just maybe it suffers a little bit the same complaints. The same complaints that I have with track 5. I feel like I would have the same sort of problem with track 7. So
no, I that makes sense to me. Maybe 9's a little high for me. I'm gonna leave it for now.
Yeah,
just to help Sigh out. But I kind of agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
You ready for Overture, Rex, Trim and Day, I Saw the World's End?
Yeah, let's do it.
This
is the longest song.
They're like getting epic now.
Yeah,
when you got a ton of titles in your, it's an epic song. I mean,
I do like whenever like there'll be like different titles because they're talking about the different sections of the song. So this first section is called this, and the second section is called this.
Yeah,
I like when they do stuff like that.
Yeah, especially when it's longer and has.
And I love organ and everything.
Organ is cool. This definitely is straight up Chopin. Very funeral. World's demise, man. Just wait till that bubonic plague gets out. World's demise.
World's demise, man.
I guess this is yours.
I'm conflicted on this one.
Oh, me too.
Like, I'm conflicted. I don't know what I want to put, to be honest. Like, I'm thinking between an 8.5 and a 9. I like when it picks up and everything and starts going fast and everything. And every time that they're all chanting, we want the end is like cool and everything. But I don't know, man. I'm conflicted. What do you think of this one?
This one is probably my least favorite on the album. I think I'm going to give it a 7. Like, there's some good things I like about it, and it's very apocalyptic sounding and stuff, but it's not as, like, catchy as, like, the first 7 songs are to me. And it doesn't, the chorus is kind of like, I don't know, it's just kind of rambling and stuff. It's, it's still good, and I like it in the context album, but it's also a little bit longer, too.
So, yeah, it is longer, but I like all the chants and the orchestral stuff.
Or don't listen to me.
No. I'll give it an 8. I like it similar to In Devil's Arms, It's but it is one that, like, I don't know. This one I'm the most conflicted on, I feel like, because I feel like it has the makings for my score to go higher. But there have been times when I go through this album that I'm kind of like, okay, and then I just kind of tune out a little bit during this song. So
it's not as memorable for me as far as like melodies and stuff go.
Yeah,
but
I, not 9
up here.
Yeah, 9 and
Salvation
10 really.
Flame.
Yeah,
you ready?
Yeah, back to some triumphant sounding, like
whoa, whoa, all that crap and stuff. You ready?
Yep.
Salvation Flame, come.
to be free, and now you yearn. Like a sinner or dying saint. Either way, you'll never be free burning to be free, and now you yearn. Like a sinner or dying saint. Either way, you'll never be free
like similar to the previous one where it's a little weaker. Honestly, this is the most anxious sounding song. It's definitely apocalyptic, but there's almost like an anxiety inducing vibe about it. The way it's like with all the layered vocals and stuff, it sounds manic and very anxiety inducing, but I still enjoy it. I don't know if the previous track, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking a 7 for this one. What do you think, bro?
I'm going to give it a 9. I think this is better than like 5, 7, and 8. I think this song...
I'm surprised I'm doing way lower scores.
I think this song is great because it's like, I like all the, I guess, Latin whatever stuff interspersed in and everything, you know. I love when this first goes into my dick this and then just goes back into I beg you please, and it's going back into the like. I agree with you with it being
maybe I should
and
do
stuff.
7.5.
Like
I'll do 7.5.
And this song lyrically and everything, this is like the first sign of like regret and everything, you know. And like all the devils
like,
or demons are all
whoops.
like, well, you know, the door's already closed, you know, your soul's already sold, and now, you know, accept your fate and whatever. So I like
now.
yeah, I like movies and music portraying like lessons and things of like, you know, don't be like me, like Ebenezer Scrooge, you know. Oh, Scrooge, don't be like me, you know. So I feel like this album has a sort of like lesson, if you will, like, you know, like, otherwise you'll be torn apart and, you know, whatever. So
burning for the treasures you yearned.
Yeah, I like the regret in this song. I like the lyrics and everything, and so I like this one. This one's more of a standout. But it also is because sometimes track 8 doesn't do it for me, and then jumping into track 9 is a little bit of like a comeback song for me, at least, you know. So I think this one's pretty solid. But the problem is track 5 follows track 4, you know, and so it's just sometimes the placement of the songs might be messing a bit with my ratings just because it's Yeah.
You ready for the last track? Hangman's Hymn,
Yeah.
In Paradisum, and Das End.
The thing, okay, I love this song because there's a section where they say a bunch of lyrics and crap from like all the other songs and everything. Like there's you'll
and
hear
they jam
it.
a bunch of musical sections.
Yeah, they
too.
jam all this stuff all in together, and it's really freaking cool. So this
Definitely
one's a
the
banger.
finality.
Yeah, let's do this one.
All right, here we go. Track 10.
Get some gold bass going on. Yeah.
Fire,
dun, 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 dun. I'm gonna give that one a 10, man. That's an awesome song. I love when the vocals come in and everything. The dude's just going double bass, you know, because it's like there's not a ton of double bass on this album. Like it is there and everything. There's different sections and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not like a straightforward, you know, just double bass all the time or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, man, that build up and everything. When can you pull up the lyrics real quick?
Sure.
Every time before it goes into the chorus and everything, the build up is so great. Like, let's see. Yeah, all like. There's two different lyrical parts. Maybe I'll do the first one. Let's see.
Deadly silence.
Yeah, see,
spread so wide.
when he's like, see my desire wither in fire, perish in flame, then call me a liar. Like,
yeah,
it
that little
builds up
pause
so
and-
freaking great. Yeah, so and then the drummer's like, call me a liar, and then back into it and stuff. I love that when it's like just spitting out those lyrics real quick and everything, and it gets me pumped and everything. I like that whole section where they do all those different parts throughout the album because it reminds me a little bit of like an Operation Mindcrimey kind of thing where it's like, oh, the guy's in a, you know, hospital bed and now he says, I remember now, and now he's going to go through everything again. Like, it does feel like this guy's caught in hell and everything, and he's revisiting everything over and over and over again because it's like, well, you're damned for all eternity. So it just, you know, whatever. So I think that's an awesome outro song. I'm glad they ended it on such a high note with that song. So
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely a step up from the last two. I give it an 8.5. There is a little bit of like, we've heard this before, you know, with that song, but I still really enjoy it. I still think it's awesome. And I agree. I think it is a great, like that whole like chorus or whatever, where it's just like die all believers, die all deceivers, die eternal death, hear the hangman's hymn or whatever. I do think they do this die all this, die all that a little too much because they do that in like 3 songs or something where they have this kind of phrase or whatever.
But they do it the best here.
They probably do it the best here. A part of me wishes like there's more emphasis on this chorus or something because all it is like just his vocals and stuff. If there was like the cleans doing this too or something, you know.
Well, I mean,
it would give it more.
They have
more.
the whole while it's going on and stuff.
But if they did more
emphasis, more backing vocals and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like if because the thing is it's like this chorus isn't as memorable for me when it comes to a lot of the other choruses, you know. But reading it, I'm like, dude, this chorus is really cool. But
well, okay. So
I wish there was more emphasis on this line here. Hear the hangman's hymn or something.
Right,
like, with him saying it along with like the choir saying it or something, some kind of punch or something there. But it's still good though.
Well, if you don't mind me disagreeing a little bit with you, how does Devil's Arms get a 9 and this song gets an 8.5? Like Devil's Arms is like kind of slower. It's in the Devil's arms. He promised me in the Devil's arms. This song is much more just in your face and just
true.
You know,
this one is more in your face, but I just love that. Like it, I don't know. It's more swingy.
Yeah,
like,
it is more swingy.
To me, Devil's Arms is more catchier, and I always remember it much more. Whereas this one isn't as catchy. It's a little bit like, yeah, we've done this stuff before. So I don't know. It's just not as memorable for me. But I do think it's a good closer, though. You know,
I'm still giving it a 10 though. I know what you mean though, like because there's a lot of repetition of like the die in this, die in that, you know, whatever. Like it is repetitive.
I wish there was more like unique melodies for this song alone. You know, I wish it had something of its own to really stand out and be its own thing. You know, rather than the culmination of everything. You know,
it reminds me of the same thing done on that Evil Masquerade album. At the end of Evil Masquerade, Welcome to the Show, the last song, they run through different parts and everything, but you were smiling and blah, and they, you know, from all the previous album and stuff. Yeah. So it does remind me of that as well. But I mean, different musically, but you know, it's same kind of a spiel. I mean, same thing with like Victory with Megadeth. I like Victory when he's just like naming all these like different songs, Megadeth songs and stuff. And anyways,
but but it's almost like there's not a whole lot of music here that we haven't heard already.
Right.
And
so it suffers being later on in the album.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But you ready for the final scores?
Yeah, go for it.
So the final scores we give Hangman's Hymn, it's really high. So Kevin gave it the higher score. He gave it a 9.35. I gave it a lower score. I gave it a 9 out of 10. So the overall score we give Sigh, Hangman's Hymn is 9.17.
Yeah.
very respectable. Do you want to share your thoughts?
Yeah,
And then I'll close
I
out?
think this is a freaking awesome album, man. Like I said, I'm not a big black metal guy or whatever. I like Diabolical Masquerade. I like these guys, but I never really got into Emperor. I never got into like,
and you like
Mayhem.
a little bit of Immortal.
I didn't really get much into more. There's just a lot of bands with big followings and people are like who are steeped into that,
Crazy
like,
about it
crazy
and
about it.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a black metal guy, but this album I freaking love, and I think a lot of it
Yeah.
is just that whole atmosphere and everything, and I like symphonic stuff, and so then people would be like, okay, well, there's like okay, Cradle of Filth, Dimmu Borgir, and like
Emperor and all those,
Godflesh,
and-
Apocalypse and
yeah.
stuff. But I still don't really listen to those bands either. I don't know. I'm a weird one where it's almost like I get into the exceptions to the rule all the time, like bands that are not like the normal in a genre, and then I get into the weird tangent kind of band. I don't know why that is, but anyways. But I'm glad we went through it. I think this is an awesome album. Like, definitely check it out. Definitely buy it. Like, it's freaking sick,
Yeah.
And like these guys should be proud of like putting all this together because it's a beast of an album for sure. So
I agree.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of just going to echo what you said. I think all of them did a great job. I like the guitar playing. I like just the intensity of it. I love his vocals. His vocals are just sick throughout. And I like just the little experimental touches and stuff thrown in there. It's a very unique kind of sounding album. Like, I don't feel like much sounds like this. And I've heard a lot of symphonic black metal stuff, and I still think this sounds like its own thing.
Yeah.
And
sure.
the orchestral pieces are sick. Like, everything's really well done. So I agree. I think it's a masterpiece. And it was fun going through this. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a good day, and we'll see you later.